What up, beautiful people? It has been a minute, hasn't it? It has been a little minute. So, I wanted to quick jump on here and deliver a little message for all the parents and new coming parents or anybody that works with children, okay? This is important, so listen up. Okay, regulating children is should be like top priority when it comes to caring for kids, okay? And, I'm going to use my own kid as an example because one thing that I noticed with her, as compared to like other kids, is she didn't really have temper tantrums. Obviously she did here and there, but when she would get worked up, she would regulate herself through rather quickly. So we really didn't experience a lot of like the toughness of terrible twos and things like that. Like, we definitely had our challenges, like not coding that over at all. But I'm just saying, like, a lot of the struggles I see with parents is that their kids are like falling out, they're freaking out, and they're getting super worked up and stuff. And I just want to touch on some things, okay? Children learn to regulate themselves through you as a parent, as a caretaker, as a caregiver. And if a child doesn't learn how to regulate themselves, it just continues on through adolescencehood, through adulthood. And what happens is when an adult is not regulated, you're having an adult that literally is like doesn't know how to take in reality. Like they are not confident. Okay? Regulation, self-regulation leads to confidence, and a confident child will really guide you in ways of nurturing them and caretaking for them, because you don't have to worry about all the explosions and things like that come with being a child. Okay, the world is incredibly overwhelming for children, and everything is new. Okay, and there's a lot of programming. There's a lot of, you know, hey, like everybody's excited that they got a new kid, and that's great, that's wonderful. But I see a lot of young parents, new parents, and they want to bring their kids to these birthday parties. They want to bring their kids to do this. They want to show their kids this. Okay, that's great. Keep in mind, their systems are overwhelmed as it is. So every new experience is overwhelming for them, regardless, it is overwhelming for them. So you need to set time. If you're taking your kid to go do something new, or a place that there's like a lot of different colors, sensations, smells, other people, animals, things like that. If you're gonna do that, do not do anything for the rest of the day. Like, that is downtime for like 2 days. We didn't even take my daughter was born like right after COVID. So we didn't really take her to birthday parties, and I've seen it as a blessing because, one, like, kids, when they're little, all they need is mom and dad. That's it. Okay, anything other than that is bonus points. That's great, that's lovely, that's wonderful. But those early years, they just need mom and dad. They just need you around. They just need you talking to them, looking at them, spending time with them, and having fun with them, and showing them how to regulate. And you can show them how to regulate from a very early age. I'm talking infant. Okay, now, listen, I'm a huge advocate for wearing your baby. Wear your baby. If you have a cloth, there's all kinds of videos on YouTube. Put the baby in the cloth, be safe about it. They got these things called Mobies where you can wrap your baby up and carry your baby. This is highly regulating for young babies, okay? Because the motion of you walking is highly regulating for their nervous system. Okay, this is going to set them up for them years that are coming on. And when they start walking and things like that, they will let you know when they're ready to have that distance from your body. But physical closeness is highly, highly important for young babies to be regulated and for them to have a healthy attachment. And that's some real shit right there. And so I want to let y'all know, like, there's just these little things, okay? I know in parenthood, it is tiring, it's exhausting, especially when you just had a baby. But there's small things you can do, such as just tying your baby to your body and walking around and getting that little bit of exercise for yourself, because you need that. You need it to get fresh air and things like that. And just having your baby close to you is so regulating for the baby and for you. Like, having that closeness for, a person to person, that is a very healing thing. That's a very beautiful thing. Okay, and all this being said, as your kid is like, hey mom, hey dad, I'm ready to start walking around doing my own thing. That's lovely. Okay, go do your thing. They're going to start coming back to you. You're going to notice that they're going to be like, oh, what is that? And they're going to walk back to you. But that's them testing, and that's healthy. Okay. So this is just, so as they get older, they're going to be like, what is this? I'm overwhelmed. And once they start getting worked up, it's really hard sometimes for people, especially when you're learning how to regulate yourself, to take a step back. Okay, sometimes you need to just leave the room. If you're too worked up, leave the room, come back, and then you're going to show your child how to regulate themselves. You're going to go in there and you're going to be very, very dramatic with your breathing. Okay, babies, they don't know English yet. They don't, okay? They're taking in a lot of information. They hear you, but they may not understand when you're saying, hey, don't do this, or hey, do this. They don't get it, okay? But they do understand behaviors more than words, okay? So what I'm saying is, when you're going in and your kid's having a fit, you're gonna take a deep breath. And you're just gonna keep doing it. And you can pick them up, walk around with them, and you can smile. And that's very regulating for kids to see your smiling, beautiful face. They love that shit. They love when you're taking the deep breaths. It becomes fun for them. And they're like, and that's how you can get a 1-year-old, a 2-year-old to, instead of getting like, and they're like hyperventilating, going into panic attacks, you immediately go, and you just keep doing it. The same way that you're walking around and your baby looks at you and then your baby starts walking around, the same way that you say shit and then your kid says shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, not recommended, but I'm just saying, like, they learn from your behaviors. So the more you do it, the more they're gonna do it. And the rewards for that small gestures, and you ain't gonna get it right every time. That's okay. That's okay. But the majority of the time is what you want to focus on, is taking them deep breaths. And then you can get into other things too, like different kinds of breaths. But just focus on the simple stuff. And then they start doing it and they're like, and they do that, right? But now if you have an older child, and this is something I learned, with going through panic attacks myself, because I was highly unregulated as an adult, and I had to learn how to regulate myself. God bless, the guys that I have had in my life and the teachers that I have had in my life that have taught me how to regulate my nervous system. But I've worked with young kids that's maybe 7, 8, 9 years old, okay? And these are kids that may be really sensitive. So they're prone to having anxiety attacks, panic attacks, okay? One of the best things you can do is be calm. So if you're not calm, take a step back, for sure. Okay, a highly sensitive kid, don't be walking up to that kid anxious, stressed out. Take a step back. Let them have their moment. Take a step back. And when you're feeling calm, go to the child. Don't say anything. Grab their hand, bring them to the sink, and let the water run on their hand. And as you're doing this, you're going to be taking deep breaths. And since at this age, they understand language better, you can tell them, take a deep breath. I know, just take a deep breath. I know, you're going to feel better after you take a deep breath, I promise. I notice that you're really worked up right now, so I just want you to take a deep breath and just let it out. And you might have to cycle through that a couple times, but the cold water on their hands can be very soothing. And you can get a little washcloth and you can just dab it a little bit on their necks. And while you're doing this, just remember to be very dramatic with your breathing. Because you are the example. They're looking up to you. They're looking at you for answers. Okay? And I just want to say this because there's lots of new babies coming out in this world, and I was a parent and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but thank God, divine timing. I was learning all these breathing techniques right around the same time that I had my baby, and I was like, thanking God that I learned those things that I could teach my kid, because now it's like I see her regulating herself and I'm like, hell yeah, you doing that right there. But you know what? It instills confidence. And that's like the best thing is it's like that is a type of thing that will reward you as a parent, because being a parent is overwhelming as it is. There's so much to parenting, but having a kid that's able to regulate themselves, especially early on, is like that's just like a blessing. Like seriously, it's a freaking blessing. And so what I'm saying is, all this summed up is just breathe around your kid, especially when they're getting worked up, and just be mindful of the different stressors that's around. Okay, you're used to all this shit. Okay, they're brand new coming into this world and they're just like, what is all this? Like everything is overwhelming for them. So just keep that in mind. It's exciting to have a little baby. It's exciting um to have a young child, but just, keep in mind that nature is soothing, and a lot of this commercialized lifestyle is really extremely overwhelming, especially for children, and it's even overwhelming for adults. So, just some things to keep in mind. So, all this being said, breathe with your baby and stay blessed out here. Like, God bless you. God bless your beautiful children that you're looking after. And I just hope the freaking best for y'all. And good luck with regulating. And absolutely, if you have any freaking comments, go ahead and comment. I'll answer some questions if you have any. But otherwise, like, take care and good luck. And much love to you. So, all right. See y'all. Bye bye.